All right, so here we have a 2012 Mazda 2. We're looking at the rear drums. Today we're going to be replacing the shoes for the rear drum. So we're going to go ahead and remove these two screws here. I'm going to use an impact screwdriver to take them out. All right, so now we want to get the drum off. There's two different ways we could do it. There is a threaded screw hole here. If we ran a screw through, it would press it out. We're going to go ahead and try to hit with a hammer right on this flange to pop it up. All right, so we're going to have to use the screw hole there. All right, so I just found the little bolt that'll fit the threads here. Just go ahead and tighten it down. Okay, so it's starting to press it out. Okay, and then remove our bolt. All right, so now that we have the drum off, we can see the shoes and all this, the brake shoes. Normally, a brake shoe you would replace once the backing plate and the friction material are the same. That would be the end of its life. You can see that this is thicker than the original ones that are on it. So this car has like 130,000 miles. These are the original rear brakes. The reason we're replacing them is they're just glazed and they just have like a little squealing noise every once in a while, morning time. So we're just doing a little preventative, put some new brakes on there. They are a little worn, but they could keep going farther. The only thing that we're not going to do today with it is either replace the whole drum as a brand new drum so it has a new surface, or you could take your old drum and have it turned like at an automotive shop. But we're just going to go ahead and put the same drum back on without resurfacing it. If it does make noise, then obviously we'll have to have the drum resurfaced. So we'll go ahead and start breaking this down. We have two retaining clips here. We'll go ahead and remove those with a needle nose pair of pliers. So the little pin here, what we want to do is we want to push down on the clip and turn the pin so it'll pop out, and that just will pull right out the backside. Maybe. We'll go ahead and do the other side. All right, so now we want to remove our springs. So we'll do the top one first. Have a pair of pliers. These are for doing drum brakes. What we do is we have a little hook here. We'll hook it in, and then we'll use the point to kind of grab something so we can Get it to pop off. Oh, where did that guy just come from? All right, so then this is our parking brake lever. All right, we have our adjuster. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and get this cleaned up with some brake clean. All right, some of the things that we want to look for. So this would be our wheel cylinder, and so your brake fluid will be inside here, and it presses these two pins out to apply the brake. We want to make sure they're not leaking. So these ones were doing pretty good. There was no. Usually it's covered in oil when that's the case. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pull the other drum off now. The reason being is, it is nice to have if you're not doing brakes all the time, so you have one that you can reference to put the other one back together. So in case, like that one there, when it comes apart, it just falls apart. So we'll go ahead and pull the other side. That way we have a reference and we know how to put all the little springs back. And that it is a good technique if you're not familiar with doing, drum brakes. All right, so here we're identifying which brake is which. So our left and the right side, they are opposite. So we want to make sure that they match up. So you have this correct side. So we know that this one will replace that. And then the front one is just going to be the same. They're not really specific like that. All right. So what we need to do on our new one here is we need to put these pins in. So our new shoes supplied by Auto Parts Direct to You have the two new pins in it. So we'll go ahead and we'll beat the pins into our new one. We just want to make sure that the pin is even on both sides. Go ahead and put the other one in now. What these will be is, so this is our adjuster. This will ride on the adjuster to spread it out, and this piece will fit underneath it. So that's what so it has a stop and an adjust. All right, so we'll go ahead and start putting our pads in. All right. All right, so we'll just hold it in this spot and go ahead and put our pin back in the back side. So we just push it down and then turn it. All right. All right. So we want to make sure that we put our pad back into our wheel cylinder, into the groove. All right, so now we want to get set up. All right, so this is our adjuster. Right, so this one's going to spread between. So we have this little access panel, as if we were to adjust the brakes. We could stick a screwdriver in there or a brake tool, and we turn the adjuster, and that will tighten the brakes up. Right, so we want to get that mechanism in there working. So we put our pins in. Right, so then basically this will ride. This is the adjuster, so it has its stop. When this is put in, it will hold the tab there and keep it lined up. So once we get it installed, this will be on the back side. So we're just showing you how we're trying to line it up now. And then we have a spring. This spring is going to come around and hooks in this little hole here. It's going to come around to here, and that's what's going to keep it balanced. So this little notch will hold the spring tension to keep it right in line with the adjuster. And that's what will keep your brakes adjusted when you back up or when you self-adjust with the star. So we'll go ahead and get this piece in here now. All right, so this one, I believe we can pop this out. So I just brought it back over the lip. All right, so we'll just pull each one of our pads back. All right, so this adjuster, we had that little window. So go ahead and get ourselves a flathead screwdriver now. All right, so here I have a little flathead screwdriver. We'll put it through the back here, and I can spin the adjuster, so that's going to start widening it out. What we want to do is so what we want to hear is that we know it's touching. So it's the pads are very close, so we know that's touching. So we want to get it just adjusted as best we can, like this. We don't want to have it too tight because then that would heat the brakes up and wear them out premature. So once we have this done, we'll go ahead and we'll put our screws back in. But once we drive the vehicle, if we back the vehicle up and use the emergency brake, that will use that lever. It will self-adjust. Every time you pull the emergency brake up, that's going to tighten, unscrew that adjuster. All right, so now we'll go ahead and do the other side. now we're all set to take it for a test drive.